Hello and welcome to Unit 3. As you can see, I got my camera fixed. One of the things that you'll note is we're upping the level of complexity as we go through week to week. The first week was, hey, this is how you put together a form. And these are all the different elements of the form. And the specific requirements were there in order to get you to do what I consider form calisthenics, where you're working with the properties and different things along those lines. Now, the second week is more along the lines of you actually getting the form to work a little bit. But you'll notice the second week was a lot of using pass-throughs, that you input data in this text box and it puts it over here and does a calculation, it puts the results over here and things along those lines. This week, which is Unit 3, you start to get into variables and constants, and I'll have a follow-up video a little bit more explaining those things. But your naming conventions really come into play this week, because before what happened is, here's my form, I've got labels, I put information in my text boxes, I do a calculation by taking this text box, multiplying it by this number, and then putting the results in this label, right? So that's good, I've done that. Now what happens really is the form is a way to get the normal flow of a program in Visual Basic, or really anything, is I get information from the user on the form. Then I do behind the scenes work, and then I put the output back in a form or some sort of message box or something along those lines. But a lot more behind the scenes programming work happens after you push calculate or something along those lines. And this week we start to get into using variables and constants, which is that step in the right direction. So some general knowledge where that's concerned. If you have an integer, a three-letter identifier for an integer is int, a three-letter identifier for a string is str, and I'll get more into that into my discussion videos. But that's a beginning. So far, it's been pretty good. Once again, I have you make those videos, and I understand some people are like, oh, videos, I didn't know, etc., which is fine. Okay, I consider my job not to, I don't laugh evilly as I take off points. I don't do that. My job, the way I look at it, is I try to facilitate you learning something. And if you can't show me what you've learned due to a technical glitch, I need to figure out a way around that technical glitch. And the videos are in place to do that. Previous semesters, I've had some issues with, like, people turn something in, it works fine on their computer, and I know you've been in a class before. Well, it worked for me, and then you're trying to explain it to the instructor, and then you have to go through all this tap dance about what's going on this day, or how's this working, or let me show you, and things along those lines. So I'm trying to sidestep that entire tap dance and go, hey, put together a 4 or 5 minute video. Here's my program working. Here's me fulfilling all the criteria, and then I'm showing you how my program relates to the criteria list. Just try to go it step by step. Like I said, I've had some people make videos where they didn't fulfill one of the criteria, realized it as they were making the video, changed the criteria, and then everything was good. And the first, I believe Unit 1 had some issues where when it was originally created and the main meat of the class is created somewhere else and then downloaded to me, and I add on to it and modify it. So there was some copy-paste errors. There's no other way around it. And people kind of showed me what was going on anyway, and I was good, and I was able to work around that. Everything was fine. So continue working with that. So far, it's been really good. I like the discussion. Thank you for your time.